I don't know, man. I think transabled people should just kill themselves.
That, well, they're a misguided bunch of folk, ain't they?
Yeah, I think so. What's your take on it? And I don't know how you feel.
Well, for one, I'm a normal human being, therefore I've never heard the term transable in my life, like ever. I mean, I know what trans is, I know what able is, but I guess...
Like an able-bodied person. So transabled, in case you didn't know, is somebody who intentionally handicaps themselves because they feel like they should have been born that way.
Like, basically, they feel that they should have been born with some form of disability. And my thought process on it is we're all going to die anyway. Why not let people do what they want, even if it is fucked up to themselves?
I think the main problem that a lot of people, and the main problem that I have with it, is that, yeah, I want people to live their life however they want to live it. To a certain extent, of course. I don't want people running around like beating little children in the head with bats and shit. That'd be just wrong.
It's like the I do you, you do me rule.
Yeah, but I think the biggest problem that I have with transabled people is these people should not be allowed on government systems like disability. If they disable
like government
themselves.
assistance, like Medicaid, disability, Social Security disability, unless they're just disabled anyway.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Like they're old or they already have a disability and they just want to further that for some reason. But like, I don't know. I've heard certain stories about people who just aren't okay with having certain limbs. Like, they feel like that's not a part of their body, like that's not their left arm, so they don't want it.
Well, okay, but here's this. I'm going to go ahead and pose a question to you. What if I felt as though I should not have been born with any arms or legs? And the doctors go ahead and they help me so that I don't injure myself and fucking kill myself on accident. But they go ahead and help me remove my arms and my legs down to these little nubs to where I just have shoulders and thighs. What if I'm not going to be able to get on disability? What kind of job am I going to be able to do? A pillow?
Maybe like a Japanese cuddling pillow or something.
Maybe.
The solution there would be if you choose to cripple yourself, just so the system can't be gamed. You'd really have to rely on like a loving family member who is okay with your choices. You know, like somebody who was just completely, going along for the ride. They had their own job. They earned their money on the private market instead of receiving it from the government. That would probably be my solution, is if you do that, you're on your own kind of thing.
So if you cut off your arms and your legs, fuck you.
We'd recognize you as disabled, don't get me wrong, because even if you disable yourself, you're still disabled. But
this brings me to something that I wanted to actually talk to you about on here. Actually, I only wanted to talk to you about it within the past, say, 15 seconds, but that doesn't mean anything. I want to know how you feel about the term handi-capable.
Handi-capable is a lie. I mean, it's like the Carlin joke. I mean, the old Carlin bit where he's like, I'm getting older instead of old because people are lying to themselves. I'm a disabled person. I'm someone who would identify as disabled. I can't do many jobs. So the issue that I have with it is it's basically disabled people and the people around them especially lying to them. Like, yeah, I'm handi-capable whenever it comes to using a computer. But I'm not handi-capable when it comes to, like, I don't know, running a marathon because I'm not, like, wheelchair bound.
Because handicapped just means that you're not able to do particular things.
I am not... What's something that I'm specifically barred from, really? Like, I would be handi-capable using a computer, or maybe going for a short walk, or, doing a bunch of other things, but I wouldn't be...
You would be handicapped at, say, running track.
Or hiking.
Or hiking.
Or, just things that would just absolutely fuck my legs.
Yeah.
But there's so many ways in which I am handi-capable, but that doesn't mean I should identify myself as handi-capable instead of handicapped, because that's just fucking stupid.
And I think that's to be honest, that's why I wanted to kind of talk about that topic, because I wanted to get your take on it as somebody who is disabled.
Well, that's the thing. People want, like they want to change language because they don't want it to seem negative. Like, people want to change they think there's something wrong with disabled now and handicapped.
And there's not.
And it's like I said, the old Carlin bit. It's like, there's nothing wrong with the word fucking cripple. It's an okay word. It might sound a little rough to the ear, like the word retard. The word retard, there's not really anything wrong with it in itself, but people misused it, and now where it's being used not in the proper context, people are wanting to change it and, call you mentally handicapped. And, that's okay if someone wants to do that, but I don't want to hear anybody call anybody fucking someone mentally handi-capable.
I think one of the best things that I ever heard was, because you mentioned retard, and I love that word so much, but I heard somebody once say, you don't call a retarded person retarded, you call your friends retarded when they're acting retarded. And I think that that's really spot on, because nobody who enjoys using the word retarded is going to go up to a class of handicapped school children and go, you're fucking retarded.
Yeah, and these words imply negative connotations to them simply because it's not fun to be that thing. It's not fun to be mentally handicapped or retarded. It's not fun to be a cripple. It's not fun to be this or that. It's a life of usually either difficulties or pain, or, depending on who you are. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily just say someone who's on the autism spectrum, just look at him and be like, haha, you're retarded.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that's necessarily a good use of the word, because that does imply derogatory things, and people with autism aren't necessarily disabled in any way.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason why these things have negative connotations to them is because it sucks being that. And that's what I've always felt, but I don't necessarily get offended when people remind me of it. Like it's just something that's a constant in my life. If I'm not aware of it at this point, I think I'm pretty fucking stupid. It
would be pretty terrible if you woke up one day and you looked down at your legs and you were like, fuck, what happened?
Yeah.
It would... So you're right. There's a certain bit of self-awareness to it. It's not... You have had to live with it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I have had to live with it. And I even welcome people to make jokes about it and stuff, as long as it's not like a bad joke, like something that's just not witty. It's just trying to be mean for the sake of being mean.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, hey, you fucking FDR retard over there. Like, I'm just, that's upsetting. That's not really clever.
No, it's not. It's just they're obviously trying to be mean, and they also didn't put any thought into it at all.
No. The only thought they put into it was FDR has legs, and they didn't work. So, but yeah, if you're clever, you come up with something. I'm not going to get into the details that bog anybody down of my disability, but if anybody was to crack a joke about it, I'd be okay with it. I don't know, the internet can crack some mean jokes that are like clever and fucking hurtful at the same time.
Yeah.
Like they know how to cut. They go for the throat.
Especially in YouTube comments.
Oh yeah, YouTube. Well, just don't go on 4chan for one. That's where it's the worst. Then Reddit.
On Be Random specifically.
Yeah, a lot of 4chan's actually okay. It's mostly the random board. I'd say the fit board is probably pretty mean sometimes.
That being said, please 4chan, don't fuck us up.
Yeah, sometimes I browse 4chan. I mean, it's all right. I don't post anything. I just look at what people are doing.
Yeah.
See what the what do we
I don't know.
What's their symbol? The frog. I know it's Pepe the Frog.
Yeah.
But like, what do you call? We're normies. What are they? Not normies.
I can't remember. They're fucking.
Sometimes they call themselves autistic.
Yeah.
But not everybody who's autistic uses 4chan.
I don't know.
And they're most likely not autistic. They're just...
The main reason that I go to 4chan is that's where I get all my Spider-Man memes to send to all my buddies. My body is ready.
Well, now Reddit's a thing. Now you can subscribe and follow different very specific things instead of just a board of whatever people want.
Did you fucking know about this specific subreddit? I'm not even sure if it's still up, but it had the title, it was a weird one. It was like pictures of Ian sleeping.
No.
And it was just every post, only one person ever like could post to it. But of course you could subscribe to it for like your daily picture of Ian sleeping. But this fucking dude was taking pictures of his roommate while he was asleep and posting them to Reddit. And I think there was like 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers. But yeah, every day he'd just take a picture of his buddy sleeping. And it wasn't even like interesting. He didn't do anything to him. He just took a picture of him sleeping. Sometimes he was face down, passed out in the toilet. Sometimes he was face up, looking up at the ceiling with his eyes closed.
That guy just created, like, he was just like, I'm going to do a meme. And then just started, you know?
It was pretty cool. It didn't get very big, but it was a very interesting find. Almost as interesting as the subreddit titled Dragons Fucking Cars. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's just all animated pictures of dragons fucking the exhaust pipe on cars.
That's a weird subreddit.
It's a super, super hot subreddit. That's all I mean, you know.
Oh. You know what's really funny?
What?
I don't know if it is something that came from my that my buddy said, or if it's something that someone online said. But he had said that that Bill Hicks was the first Reddit user before Reddit even existed.
That kind of fits. He's like the grandfather of Reddit.
Pretty much.
He irrationally screams at people, but also has some really good points sometimes. So he was Reddit incarnate, I think. Alright, so next topic. Should men wear wool socks?
The most boring... No. The most exciting, excuse me. I know. I slip up in words there.
I'm enthralled.
The most exciting fucking topic I've ever seen in my life. I didn't know that there was this differentiated socks.
Wool socks? No, you know what I'm talking about. Like those big, thick, long socks that come up to like your kneecaps. Well, I guess they don't have to be that long, but they're just really thick.
I wouldn't wear wool socks to begin with.
That's why I'm asking you. How do you feel about men who wear wool socks? Can they be trusted? They
can. They just want warm calves, dude.
They just want warm calves. Can they not grow leg hair?
They can, but leg hair might not be sufficient, or maybe they're a little fucking, they ain't got as much testosterone.
Are you speaking as a man who wears wool socks?
I've never worn wool socks.
I have worn wool socks.
I wear ankle socks.
I actually had one really nice pair of wool socks that I wore during the Christmas time. And they were the best. Sit down next to the fire with my big wool socks on. They were like gray and black, and they weren't striped. It's not gay, okay? It was just cool. So you don't have any opinion on men who wear wool socks?
I don't, and I am hijacking the ship back onto something a little more interesting.
I was enthralled.
For those who play Magic the Gathering, the question I have, and it seems wherever I go, people usually have the same answer, and the answer is they're okay with it. But proxies, Magic the Gathering proxies. For those who don't know, a proxy is a copy of a card that has just been printed out at on a printer or at a library and put into a sleeve or something that people use to test out decks and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to using them to test out decks, I am okay with them. It's perfect. It's perfect logic, just have a new deck, or want to make a new deck, don't want to know what you spend your money on, use that to see if you want it.
But what if you do not have enough money to actually purchase those cards?
What happens then?
That's what I want to know. So are the proxies okay then? If you do not have enough money to actually purchase the cards, but you still want to play the game because you do love it so much, how do you feel about proxies in that specific instance?
Unless you were literally you had $0.00 to get a Magic the Gathering, then I say it's okay. If you literally have no money whatsoever, then proxies are fine. But, on the other hand, I've made decks that cost $10 that are fucking incredible, that have, had a pretty decent win ratio, and that just do fantastically.
But what if you don't have $10 to spend?
If you don't have $10 to spend, use proxies.
So at that point, if you don't have $10 to your name, you can print them off.
But at the same time, what bothers me is I don't want to use proxies. I really don't. And those who don't have a dog in the fight of whether they can afford Magic the Gathering or not, they just proxy everything. They can proxy the best decks that there are.
I have a set of 4 Black Lotuses.
No, you don't. But
they're all proxies, but they're legal, right, dude?
They're not legal.
Well, they're not legal, but they're legal in house play.
Yeah, that's the thing. So you have, and I don't play with that. I like to play with the high quality cardboard that Wizards of the Coast use to print off their cards.
And at the same time, because you made the point earlier that if you don't have $10 to spend on Magic cards, how the fuck do you have the money to buy multiple ink cartridges in order to print them off?
That's another thing.
They're so goddamn
Unless you're
expensive.
going to your local library and throwing down
I guess so.
30 cents to print off a deck.
I don't know what kind of library you go to, but my local library only has a black and white printer.
Oh, a lot of proxies are black and white too.
Oh, that's bullshit. Why would you even want to play with that?
Yeah, that's the thing. I prefer the high quality cardboard. I view the game as what would you call it? A CCG, a collectible card game, as well as a trading card game.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I want a card, I have to buy it, through some sort of... And I know fucking cards cost a lot of money.
I think that kind of makes you a capitalist.
It does.
But you sit there and you talk about how expensive cards are, and then you've got a problem with people using proxies. You see, okay, how many people have you run into who used to play Magic but don't anymore? And what was the main reason that they stopped playing?
Because the game's too expensive.
And maybe they would have continued to play it had they printed off their own proxies.
Or they a lot of times they don't like whatever the newest thing is out.
That's true.
Unless they just play all modern like I do, which is, for those of you who don't know, you play standard. It's all the new stuff that comes out, and then you can play modern, which is all the new stuff and all the old stuff, or most of the old stuff. But I don't know. I don't understand. It takes the collecting out of it, which the collecting is a huge part,
Yeah, because you can crack open a little pack of cards, and you can run through them really quick, and at the end you can be like, oh shit, I got a mythic rare.
Yeah.
And
it's nice to have and I'm not saying that, people who proxy necessarily don't want to own actual cards. That's not what I'm saying at all. I mean, I bet they'd be ecstatic to have a Tarmogoyf instead of something just printed off.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. They're printing off the best cards.
And using those.
Or they can print off a card that costs $300.
Well, see, fuck that.
And if I wanted a card that was like that, I'd have to do what they do in order to do it, and I don't want to do it because I like the collecting aspect. Well, that's my issue.
Of course they're always going to print off the better card. Why wouldn't they?
Exactly. When you're in a position to not have to pay money, you're going to go with the best thing. And that's another thing too, is piracy. Piracy is something that I'm mixed on. I don't know. I mean, I'll say I'm pro piracy.
For the most part, I think I can agree with you for the most part.
I don't mind if people share files. I don't mind if people, because there's too much fucking entertainment in this world to pay for every single little piece that you use.
Oddly enough, and I know that this might not actually make any sense, but if you've got, say, a big band, I don't know, Metallica, fucking Lars. Well, anyway, if you've got Metallica, and they're already making shit tons of money off of their merchandise, their fucking endorsements, just all this different crazy shit that they're doing, and they're also making a shit ton of money off of selling their music. Why shouldn't you pirate that?
That is...
When you've also got smaller bands who don't have huge endorsements, who don't have as much revenue coming in. I think that you should only start to feel bad if you're taking advantage of people that are having a tough time as far as artists go. So don't go and fucking pirate some music from somebody who makes less than fucking $30,000 or $40,000 a year. That's a fucked up thing to do. I think that that's kind of where I'm at on piracy. If you want to take from the big guys, go ahead, do that. They're making a shit ton of money. And of course, yeah, I get it, okay, if everybody pirated from the big guys, then they wouldn't be big guys, right? Well, how much fucking money do you need? You're already selling all this merchandise. You're already, I don't know, you shouldn't be into art, into creation for the money to begin with. But,
yeah, that is true. But I will say at the same time, in order for artists to produce, they need to be compensated for it. Because...
So what is a fair compensation for art? I think that if you're making over $200,000, $250,000 a year, you're good.
Maybe. I mean, it really depends. Like, and to me, it's not. I kind of take it out of that because that's an argument that's never going to be won.
Yeah.
Is what, you know, do these people deserve the money or do they not? Because that's not really the case. What my question is do you have the money or not? You know, if you're someone who's on tough times,
that's true too. Yeah.
You don't have a lot of money for entertainment. I don't think, you know, people who can't afford things should just have to sit in a fucking room and look at the wall. You know, or
unless it's a really good wall.
unless it's like a mural, then they can. But I don't think that, you know, if you can't afford things that you should be necessarily restricted from it. I think that piracy is almost like, I don't know. I think if you can't afford it and you do pirate things, like let's say you pirate a certain artist's music. Let's use an example. Like let's say the Flaming Lips, right?
I was actually going to bring them up, but go ahead and make your point.
If you pirate the Flaming Lips music and you enjoy it for free, and you really like their stuff, maybe you should buy a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Maybe.
See, oddly enough, okay, the Flaming Lips are my favorite band of all time, and that's because they're a fan of music. They love all the bands that I love. Yada, yada, yada. That doesn't matter. What I'm going to say is that Wayne Coyne, the frontman of the Flaming Lips, actually came out and he said something along the lines of, listen, if you enjoy our music, but you can't afford it, then absolutely, you should steal it if you have to. If that's what it comes down to, then yeah, go ahead and pirate it. It doesn't bother us. However, if you really are a big fan of us, then maybe when you have some extra money, you could buy a t-shirt. And I think that that's kind of where you're going with that. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, buy a t-shirt, you know, or own one of our albums on physical media.
Yeah.
Or buy it on iTunes. Or, you know, just do something. Donate to their fucking Patreon if they got one.
I doubt it.
Fuck if I know. Like, do something for them. Like, if you're somebody who pirates a video game series, and, like, let's say you pirate all of Fallout games. Like, you haven't paid for a single Fallout game in your life. If you have the money and it's not on your computer and you have to re-pirate it again, let's say New Vegas. You want New Vegas. You can find New Vegas out there for, like, the complete edition of it for like $5 to $10 on PC.
And that's with all the DLC, right?
And if it's on console, you can pick that up at a fucking GameStop for like less than like a child's lunch money for the day.
Yeah.
Like, no fucking joke.
And
like,
that's a game worth fuck tons of play out. Like, you could play that shit for hours and hours and hours.
Exactly. And it's worth you going and buying it. Like, if something's cheap enough, fucking buy it. If you can afford it, buy it. Because if you don't, then you're literally like leeching. But see, I believe.
I think I also have a little bit of a rebuttal there, because you're sitting there and you're talking about in some way compensating the people who have worked on this thing and put it out in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, you said that if you wanted a copy of Fallout, you could get one for like $5, $10, right? Well, let's say that I went down to my GameStop and there was like a $5 bin there, and I pay for it. It's very doubtful to me that Obsidian or Bethesda... Did Bethesda have anything? I'm pretty sure that they were the publisher.
They published it, yeah. Obsidian made it.
But none of that money is going to go to them. So your point...
A portion will.
No, not out
It'll
of a
be
$5
very small.
bin. Like, if you go to, say, Walmart...
Oh, wait, no. Yeah, GameStop, it won't. It's all GameStop's money.
Yeah. So like,
Well, I'm speaking more of like Steam sale. I'm a PC. I have a PC mind, you know. So that's where I'm coming from. You know, Steam will get a chunk of it, but they always pay the developer. So whenever it comes to that, you know, support developers.
I guess that's another big win for the fucking digital media.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. How do you feel about that, man? Because I don't know exactly how to feel about it. Because I love my material media. I love my physical copies of things. Because they used to come with like a little book, and they don't anymore. What happened?
Well, I feel that whenever it comes to game consoles like PS4, Xbox One, when it comes to, you know, DVDs, music, I prefer to own physical media.
Yeah.
And DVDs, like, some people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, you have CDs. You know, you own CDs. Like, are you fucking old? Like, do you not know how to work a fucking iPod? What's wrong with you? But I really love owning a CD. I really love, because I have an old car too that adds into it.
The album artwork.
The album artwork.
The front, the back. You can like just little shit that the people who created that put into it.
You can let someone borrow it.
Yeah.
You can sell it if you never want it again. Like, I don't know how much you'd be able to sell a CD for, but like if you had a lot, you could probably get rid of all of them for $20, and that's better than not being able to return it. You know?
Yeah, especially if you just didn't want them anymore and you were never going to use them again, which would kind of be insane.
But on my PC, I couldn't imagine where I'd put all the game cases for all the games I have. I have like 60 to 70 some games in my game library on Steam.
You I don't know, man. You watched AVGN, you know, Angry Video Game Nerd, when you were younger too. Don't you remember seeing him like walk to like his walls of games? It was almost like a little small library with like little aisles and shelves and shit. Wouldn't you love that?
Oh, that's what I aspire to one day once I have the money to do it. But
so you're talking about physical copies, man? Come on, that would be.
But for my PC, it's not exactly attainable because I'd be getting like 3 or 4 physical copies like a week.
That's true.
Because I buy so much, you know, dumb shit that I'll never play on sale.
You know what you would have to do?
What?
You would literally just have to go and like get one of you would just have to buy a bigger house every time you expanded your collection.
Every time a Steam sale, like every time summer sale comes around, I have to buy another bookshelf.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I'm going crazy with like the $3-4 games. Like I'm buying like 50 of them.
I don't know. So you, how many games do you have on the PC?
We can actually check. Hold on. Library. Okay, 61. I was off.
61 is not too many to store in your home as a physical copy.
No, but that'd be a whole fucking like bookshelf full of games.
I don't know that would be a whole bookshelf.
Like a small bookshelf?
All right, you've seen about how many CDs I have?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about how many CDs that is?
I'd say close to 50, maybe.
It's about as many. Well, yeah, it's close. That's about as many games as you have on Steam.
You got to realize it's half the storage size, though.
That's true. So just imagine twice that size. That is literally 2 shelves. 2 shelves about the width of my forearms.
That's I don't know. I just like digital media when it comes to Steam because I don't have to go anywhere. I got decent internet, so I fucking go take a dump and it's ready. I just install it and bam, I'm in the game. I don't have to get up. I don't have to change nothing. Just double click and I'm in it. With my PS4, I'd rather have physical games.
But don't you kind of miss, as a kid, that whole ritualistic, opening a new game and popping it in and, just being super excited?
That's the problem, though. I don't miss it because I still experience it with console games. And on my PC, I experience the luxury of digital. So
you can just get the best of both worlds.
It's a win-win for me.
Well, you're a fucking asshole.
And then I also have retro consoles, which allow me to plop that fucking cartridge in, that fucking euphoric fucking feeling of just knocking that in there and then hitting the on button. So I have all of it.
Now you're just bragging about...
I'm not bragging. I just fucking love all of it because I've been gaming since, like, was probably still shitting in my fucking pants, dude. Like...
That is... I hope that's been a long time.
Oh, yeah. I just stopped, like, last year. Like,
I've been gaming for a year, been shitting in my pants for about 20. But yeah, physical media, I think, is better. But digital media has its purposes. Has its place. Yeah.
I'll never buy an album on iTunes, though.
Do we?
Apple doesn't deserve my money. Do
we have another good topic?
Fuck no, we don't, but we got some listed here. So, women in they places.
Oh, God, dude.
Women in they places.
You know, you thought it would change because there was this whole thing, I think.
I'm saying purses, by the way, not pusses. You'll have to excuse me. I'm trying to add a little flair to
the podcast. What's up with the size of women's pusses today? No, that's the whole theme of this topic is women. And even though over the past 30, 40 years their purses have gone from like the size of a 32-gallon garbage bag to the size of a fucking flip phone, they still manage to cram everything in there.
Yeah, this comes from this little topic comes from Lucas needing a Tylenol earlier, and I don't have any because my fiance stuffed them all in her purse.
Who walks out of the house and is just like, I'm taking all of this medicine that may help someone later?
I mean, she also walks out of the house like, here's all the cigarettes that are in the house. I don't mind taking those. Not to dog down and bitch at my fiance. She's a wonderful person, but there are these little annoyances that sometimes can get on somebody's nerves. And why do you need all the time?
I think it's this case right here. I think it's just that they can fit it in there. So they're gonna.
Like, yeah, I might need this later. I have the storage space. Fucking cram it in there.
I can fit, I don't know, a bowl of tortilla chips in my purse.
You know what's nasty?
What?
A lot of times when a woman hands you a Tylenol,
it was in the bottom of her purse.
It was open in the bottom of her purse, along with all the other nasty shit she's got in there.
Fucking broken up pieces of makeup, dead skin cells, pieces of shit.
Just literal. Like a dirty diaper from her, like, fucking kid.
No, considering how much they carry around in their purses, I'm surprised they just don't squat right over them and take a shit into it. It's like a personal bathroom, and they can fit it in there, so why not?
But yeah, it's every time you take a Tylenol out of a purse, like if your fucking mom hands you a Tylenol, that's a nasty Tylenol.
Well, you can kind of tell too, because she'll hand it to you like between two fingers, and you'll look at it, and there'll be like a curly hair sticking out from in between the pill and her finger, and there'll like be little pieces of lipstick.
It's like, thanks, let me just get that off there and
Did you
fucking blow it off, I guess? Because you don't want to be like, did you get that from the bottom of your purse, you nasty bitch? You just wanted to...
It looks more like you dug it out of the mouth of a fucking crack whore.
Yeah. Not to be offensive to women, I just use ecstatic language.
Ecstatic.
But yeah, like, don't hand me a pill that is basically nastier than my fucking nads, please.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't take a Tylenol that had been sitting on my balls for 3 hours. Don't hand me a pill that's...
That brings me to a totally other thing, because a lot of, especially older women, will carry around like little pieces of candy in their purse. You have no idea how long that's been in there. It's been in there
since the bicentennial.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that Werther's original has seen some shit.
Like, don't trust any of that candy old women give you. It's old as shit. It's the wrapper's halfway falling off of it.
Unless it's a butterscotch. A butterscotch is kind of like always worth it.
Always. This.
at least I really like butterscotches. I think it's an old person candy, but I fucking love them.
This butterscotch might give me an STD, but goddamn if it wasn't delicious.
Yeah. But yeah, don't trust that candy. That candy was a lie for Nam, dude. Like, you leave that candy there. Whew. So another fucking topic. Hobbies are too damn high.
I think that we kind of touched on that one a little bit when we were talking about magic.
A little bit, but like, why does every time I want to get into a hobby such as magic or board games or any fucking thing, I have to basically give them my left fucking nut just to start, and then I have to give them the right one just to get a decent, like deck or a board game going.
I know why, and this mostly pertains to nerdy people, okay, or at least, I don't want to say just nerdy people can enjoy it. I guess anybody could, but have you ever been over to like a friend's house and he's got a lot of really cool models, and he's got like Hot Wheels hanging up on the fucking walls from since he was like 6 years old? They're probably worthless, but nonetheless, it's like, holy shit, how do you have all this money to spend all that shit on? Well, I'll tell you what, you go over to the fridge, you open up the freezer, and you take a look in there, and you see if there's a bunch of Hungry Man in there. And if all that follows, then he probably just doesn't have a woman in his life, and that's where he gets all of his money to spend on really cool shit.
So what? He has Hungry Man meals because he doesn't have a wife to cook for him?
Exactly.
Lucas?
Exactly. That was the whole thing. See,
enough of the shitting on women podcast. Let's
It's called Two Boring White Guys, not Two Boring Misogynists.
But I will say that is true. Men who don't have money to spend on a woman or just another person in general will fucking just spend like whatever on fucking hobbies and shit. Like, just go into a hobby shop sometime and you tell me how many tits you see. Like,
you might see one pair of tits, and that would be a lesbian, or you might actually just see.
You will see. Actually, correct the statement. You will see a lot of tits because they're all on men, and that that is like, you will see so many tits. But if you see a woman in a hobby shop, it's kind of a rare thing. It's not necessarily like it's not like it never happens. It does. It does. There's women who actually enjoy this kind of stuff, and it's a good thing. Like, I actually like not seeing me everywhere.
You're talking about the gamer girls?
The gamer girls, yeah.
I'll tell you what, you might actually walk into a hobby shop and see one woman's tit, not a pair. It's probably just a confused cancer survivor.
Who's just looking around.
Who's just wandered in.
My son Billy told me to buy him a fucking Warhammer. I don't know where to find it.
That was supposed to be a joke in case you couldn't tell.
But yeah, women typically don't go into these things. It's usually a male-dominated market, and these male-dominated markets, like, they're willing to charge several fucking hundreds of dollars for this useless plastic bullshit. That's fun as all hell, but worthless everywhere else.
You either choose to have Wizards of the Coast in your life, or you choose to have women in your life.
I chose both, thankfully. I was lucky enough to.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you'll find a really good one who puts up with your fucked up weird hobbies.
Your bullshit hobbies that nobody should really enjoy because they're too fucking expensive, and you don't get anything out of it except for fun.
How much did that video game cost, Josh?
Like, at least if building tables is your hobby, each time you do it, you got a table.
But eventually you're going to run out of room for tables.
Well, you can sell the table. That's making your investment back.
You're talking about fucking buying new shelves for all your video games, all your physical copies, and fucking building crazy amounts of tables? What the fuck are you going to do with all that?
Sell it.
You live in an apartment.
It's the Carlin joke. I'll get a new house for all my fucking... I got too much shit. I gotta get a new house so I can get more shit.
I love materialistic things. It's the best. They're the best.
I know. They almost make up that fucking hole inside of you that just says kill yourself, You forget about it for a gleaming moment.
And then you're like, oh shit, Half-Life 3 confirmed. Can't die yet.
I'm upset because there's so many people died waiting for Half-Life 3.
Steam or Valve don't make games anymore. They make money.
That is true. That is from that fucking YouTube video.
Yeah.
Valve. We don't make games. We make money. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I can't remember the source exactly of who fucking said it. I credit them. But
what was the last game they made? It was either Left 4 Dead 2 or it was Portal 2.
It was Portal 2.
Was it Portal 2?
I'm almost certain. Portal 2 came out in like 2009 or 10.
They make such good fucking games. But anyway, everybody on the internet's fucking asking for Valve to make games. We don't want to add to that.
Yeah.
So, Fun ways to kill yourself.
Number 1, death by ejaculation.
No. Well, I mean, I guess that could be. I mean, I think a lot of people have died that way. They just, like, they strangle themselves before they climax or while they climax.
Yeah, actually.
So yeah, I guess that would be.
That would be. Carlin comes in again. You can't tell if you're coming or going.
Yeah. I think that would be a pretty interesting way to die. I don't think that the people who found your body would be a little fucked up from it.
Definitely. Dude, that wasn't kind of on topic, but also off topic. World's Best Dad is a great movie.
Oh, yeah, because he walks in and he sees his son fucking, well, you know.
Yeah, Bobcat Goldthwait directed a movie.
Starring Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, in which his son, basically Robin Williams has a son, and his son's a general piece of shit. And he's just a bad kid in all ways. He's not really good in any way. And the movie just kind of, it stresses to show you that. And he accidentally kills himself while jacking off. And Robin Williams, where he's an English teacher, he's like a writer, if you will.
He's a failed writer. He's got like 3 or 4 books unpublished.
Yeah, he starts publishing his books under his son's name and tries to him out to be this ideologue so it can be remembered more positively. It's just a wonderful movie. If you haven't seen it.
And it's not very long.
No, it's really good. I watched it by myself, and then I liked it so much that I even watched it with Lucas the next time he was over at my house. I was like, I have to show you this. It's a great movie.
It was really good. You get to see some Robin Williams dick. I'll give you that.
Was that his real dick, though?
I don't know.
Because you can actually...
No, because he's gotten naked in movies before.
Oh, has
I've
he?
seen his dick more than once. So I'm pretty sure it was his real dick.
There was a movie called Nymphomaniac.
Yeah.
They had explicit sex scenes where you could totally see 2 characters fucking. It was like a decently mainstream film. But the thing is, it's made by some extremely, like, famous but not famous, like, underground director. I think his name's like Von Troyers. I can't remember.
Something.
But something. But he made a movie in which the characters actually fuck in it. But it's crazy because it's all CG. None of it's real. They're not actually fucking.
What?
Yeah, I thought that was the weirdest fucking thing.
Why?
And I will admit, I was a little curious, and I looked at fucking scenes from it because I'm like, how do you fucking do that? Alright? And it looked like actual fucking sex. Like, there was, women sucking dick in it and everything.
Jesus.
And it looked fucking real. They actually CG'd the black dude's dick to be bigger. Which I thought was funny.
So, wait, no, I gotta know. Does that count as softcore porn, or does that count as hentai?
That's a good question, actually.
I think that's a pretty fair question.
Because I guess hentai at that point, because they're not actually fucking. Whenever you draw something, nothing's actually fucking. You're just depicting it fucking.
Yeah, so I think that would just actually be hentai.
It's just a hentai movie. That's
okay. So we totally rambled off. But fun ways to kill yourself. If you had to go, Josh, if you had to kill yourself, if everybody on the internet wanted you to kill yourself, how would you do it?
Well, for one, I wouldn't listen to the internet. But two,
hypothetical here.
Hypothetically, fuck everybody in the world to God, Josh, you have to kill yourself, right? Like, fuck off. We don't need you. I would sort of like line up my head.
Yeah.
To like take out like a few people that I don't like that legitimately need to die.
So would you kidnap them first, or would you just like meet them up in public? And
like I'd be like, I'm the most infamous man in the world, because obviously I have to be if everybody wants me to kill myself. It's like, do me this last, wish and conga dance with me.
Oh.
And then like in the middle of it, snap a selfie with a gun in my mouth and
shoot everybody in the line.
Yeah.
One guy curves off to the right and he totally gets missed. Like he just gets his ear taken off.
I don't know who I'd pick, because I don't, I don't want to, be like, oh, I wish death on this person, just because I really don't. But I mean, if I had to take care of a few people, I would.
I doubt it would go through more than like 2 skulls.
Oh no, it'd be like a Desert Eagle.
Oh, okay.
It'd be a 50 cal bolt. Like, okay. I'd make sure everybody behind me died along with me.
I think that if I were going to kill myself, I would in some way. I think I would probably just like tie my wrists to a tree, and then tie my ankles to a truck, and then just make a body hammock out of myself. I would just get torn, like, but not all the way.
That sounds like the most painful fucking way to go.
Your spine would get ripped out eventually, and you wouldn't feel shit.
So you're going for the cinematic.
I'm going for the cinematic. I'm not going for the, like, actual... I wasn't trying to at all be realistic. I was just trying to come up with, like, a way that would be extremely interesting, would totally fuck a bunch of people up if they saw it. And, you know, if my spine is broken and I'm a human hammock, I can just hang there, and if I'm still conscious, I could just stare up at the sky before I bleed to death. I think that would be swaying in the wind with my guts and shit flopping out. I think that would be a pretty cool way to go.
I would just paint like your organs on the inside like the American flag, and then whenever you get pulled apart, it's just like and have like an eagle like caw or whatever they do, like oh, have their eagle screech.
America, I done made America great again, guys.
Or you could have like a MAGA, like your intestines spell MAGA.
I think I need a doctor to help me out with this suicide attempt.
Make Lucas Worley's suicide great again.
Well, hey man, they have transabled people. Are there not trans dead?
There might be.
I mean, if you're gonna help somebody, if you're gonna actually get a doctor on the side of handicapping somebody, so that person can live what they believe to be their normal life, so that they don't fuck themselves up when trying to handicap themselves, like killing themselves on accident, why would you not also get a doctor to help somebody kill themselves if they really wanted to?
That's another issue, physician-assisted suicide. That's a different topic for a different day.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of going on and on and on here, and it's fucking hot in this room. So we'll see you next time, guys.
Bye-bye.